There we go. We're all set. Alrighty, welcome back to the Huddle Podcast. Today we have on David Pindell. So I'm just gonna rip a question right off the bat to you. What was it like setting the rookie rushing record at UConn?
Yeah, setting the rookie rushing record at UConn was it was pretty cool. It wasn't something I was, looking as like a goal to accomplish anything like that. It's just, our offensive coordinator, credit to him and the offense line. He did a great job, you know, calling plays and trying to put us in the best situation to win. Where, he gave me a lot of opportunities to, run the ball and I just, try to make the most of it. So it was pretty cool, like, at the end of the season when they, told me I did that.
Yeah, you probably feel like the man on the campus walking around. That's pretty sweet.
Uh, at UConn, I don't know. We was a 1-9 team, so if you
Oh
consider
boy.
breaking a record on a 1-9 team with the man, hey, I guess so.
So you didn't know that you broke the record when you did? You just found out at the end of the season?
Yeah, because like when you losing, like we won our second game, which is the Rhode Island game, and everything else we lost. We went 1-9. When you losing, it's like you don't really look at like, oh, we having a lot of like success as an offense or stuff we're doing because we're always losing. But then again, we did score a lot of points offensively, so it's like, hey, we scored a lot of points, but I didn't know like I rushed for like 1,000+ yards, something like that. But
Yeah,
yeah,
Okay.
I wasn't really paying attention to individual stats at that point.
more
That's
of a
fair.
team
That's
man. I
fair.
respect that.
Hmm.
All right. Well, I got a question for you. What was your favorite career moment then so far?
My favorite
Obviously, you've
career
been.
moment. Uh, my favorite career moment was probably my senior year when we played against Rhode Island. I scored like 6 touchdowns that game. So I ran two, and I threw 4 touchdowns. So and we actually won that game. So that was a
Oh,
game
there you
where
go.
I felt like, hey, I was the man because 6 touchdowns in one game, and it was our second game of the season. So we had lost to Central Florida the week before, which is a really good team, and beat Rhode
Yeah.
Island. So it's like, mentally our confidence was like, okay, we might be good this year. You do 6 touchdowns, and after that we get spanked by Boise State by like 50. So I was like, I,
When you played Boise, was it in Boise or did you guys play at UConn?
no, we went to the Blue Turf. We went all the way out to Boise, and it was that environment was just ridiculous. It felt like we was in trouble when like so we got off the plane to like the game, how the environment was, and it just that whole night it was just a butt whooping for us that whole night.
How was the blue turf? Like, did you notice a difference or?
I didn't really know the difference. The one thing that was a little different was like the air, like the altitude and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm from Maryland and like we're in Connecticut on the East Coast, and Boise is like up in the mountains, like way way up there. So it's like the air level was a little different. So we had to get out there like 3 4 days earlier just to get adjusted to the air and stuff, the breathing. That was a little different.
How do you find do you find it easier to play in Japan or is it worse? Because I know you're in Kobe, correct?
Yeah, right now in Kobe. Um, Playing in Japan, it's a professional football league. Like it's not competitive like the American Football League, NFL, CFL, or like playing D1, but it's competitive. So I'm not gonna say it's just easy because if it was easy, I've been out here 3 years already. I would won a championship. I still haven't won one. So it's competitive. Um, Guys try hard. There's talented guys out here. So that's how I'd say, in my opinion.
Is there a lot of Americans out there with you?
Each team, the rule is each team's allowed 4 Americans, so like two on offense, two on defense, and there's
Okay.
like
Wow.
13,
They have a
14 teams.
rule, eh?
Yeah, yeah,
Wow.
I guess these
yeah,
teams would go out and get a lot of Americans if there wasn't a rule in place.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. That's fair. So I wanted to ask you too, like, what's the difference between like play calling there and play calling at in the NCAA? Like, because I know that I would imagine it's probably Japanese there. Like, you have a that work.
Yeah. So football is football. It's American football, 11-11. So, you got regular, like offenses, plays, and all that stuff. The way they call it, from my experience playing on this team, is to try to keep it as basic and vanilla as possible because I'm an American quarterback. Everybody else on the team is,
Yeah.
Japanese, and some of them guys can understand a little English. I can understand a little Japanese, so we gotta make it, very basic enough for us to communicate on a good level. So like play calls will be very, very simple, very like as basic as you can get, like high school basic, like doubles right, like 60, and it'd be like mesh, just super, super basic, just so everything we're all on the same page the whole time.
Okay. What's
Yeah.
the training routine like?
You said the training, like the
Yeah.
training? So it's completely different from America. So here, um, the Japanese players, they work full time Monday through Friday. So the Americans, we're considered professional athletes. So we don't do nothing Monday through Friday. All we're required to do is go to the gym, go work out, and then we practice only Saturday and Sunday. So it's like Monday through Friday, go to the gym, and after you go to the gym, then like, you do whatever you want, and then we practice Saturdays, Sundays, and then we play on Saturdays. Like every other Saturday, we play.
Okay. So are you responsible for your own training, like in the gym?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
hmm
What was your favorite facility? Because I know you went to Minnesota, but you also like UConn's got to have a fairly nice facility. I don't know which one do you think is your favorite?
Yeah, like I went to UConn, went to Tampa, went to Minnesota, and I went to Montreal. Minnesota by far had the best facility. That facility was ridiculous. The
Yeah.
Vikings, yeah, the Vikings facility was crazy.
How was going to the CFL, because that's almost like a completely different game as well.
Yeah, that's true. It was a little different. Um, because there's three downs. That's what, like 12 men on the field, motions, everything. So it's a little different. It was like playing. It just felt like playing a different game of football. And the experience was cool, but for me, I don't like learning new stuff. Like I like just playing regular 11-on-11 American football. So playing the
Yeah.
CFL, it's like you have that rule where like you can only have a certain amount of Americans on the field. There's three downs. The field is wide. There's 12 men on the field. And the play calling and stuff was just a little different, just because you got an extra man on the field too. So small little things like that. But the experience was cool. Like just watching, because I wasn't a starter or nothing. So like just watching how the starting quarterback, prepares for a game each week, and prepares with his teammates and his offense coordinator, just learning behind him. And it was just cool to watch. But I'm just like, yeah, no. After like they didn't re-sign me, I just like, yeah, I prefer to just play, regular American football 11-on-11.
That's fair. It's more fun to watch, that's for sure.
Mhm.
Uh, do you have any like pregame rituals or anything you do before the game?
No, not that I ever noticed. I don't believe in all that stuff. It's just like you get up. One thing game day that's been consistent since I've been playing football, I just don't eat on game day because I don't know, my
Really?
body just don't allow me to eat. Yeah, I don't
Okay.
eat. But other than that, get up and it's like I'm just relaxing, waiting till the time come, and I just get ready for the game. I don't like do anything like consistent where it's like, oh, I have to do this before the game. So
How's the crowds in Japan?
believe it or not, they have a lot of support out here. So the games they pretty packed. So at our uh, at our little championship game in the playoffs last year, we played at what's called the Tokyo Dome. It's like a big event. It's like where they hold like their big baseball games and stuff like that. We filled that up. We went to the playoff second round of playoffs in the Tokyo Dome, and probably had about 30,000-40,000 people there. So it was they
That's
they have a lot of
unreal.
support out here. Yeah.
That's sweet. They loud?
Japanese are not like Americans where it's not like they're screaming and going wild. It's like the most you'll see is like they'll stand up and they just all clap like as a collective whole. It's just very different. It's like very polite, just very like calm and cool, but still feels good like having all
Oh
of it.
yeah,
Oh, for sure.
100%.
Do you enjoy living there?
I enjoy like how peaceful and safe it is because safety is the most important thing, but it's a little too boring for me as far as like the lifestyle and like how the Japanese people like their culture. It's just too like it's just like they're in a factory. It just reminds you of like being in a factory all day, just nonstop work, work, work. They don't take
Yeah.
breaks. They don't like they're very peaceful people. They mind their business, but it's just like, at what point do you have fun? Like if all you've been doing the whole life is just
Yeah.
work, work nonstop. Like you need to learn how to have a little fun.
What's like your favorite and least favorite thing about like living in Japan?
My favorite thing
If you could
is
narrow it down.
so my favorite thing is it's peaceful. It's safe.
Yeah.
So I can get up 12, 1 o'clock in the morning, go outside and just walk. Like put some earphones on very loud and just walk. So I do that a lot out here. That's the one thing I like the most out here. It's just very safe. It's very safe and peaceful. Thing I least like is I don't like trying new food. So, coming out here and then, having to try to adapt to the food and stuff is just like I try to find the most basic and food that I'm used to out here. So like burgers, fries, spaghetti, steak and stuff like that. I try to find the like most basic stuff that's close to that out here, but like eating sushi, ramen, and like all that type of stuff is just not my thing.
Is that difficult to find American food out there?
Uh, since I've been here 3 years, like, and I found like a little market. I've been able to go there and get consistently like the same food, but over time you get tired of eating the same food. You want something new that's like that you're comfortable with, and that part is hard because like it's just this one market, and they have like just enough stuff where it's like okay, I can eat this, but it's like oh okay, I actually want something a little more different. That I like. So yeah.
I have a little switch up question for you. We've had this debate on the show for a little bit, and I don't know if you ever filled out one of the NFL report cards or not, but they have treatment of family on there on the report card, and some teams get an F minus. I just
Mhm.
wanted to know if you knew like what the standards were for like are they like kicking people out of games and stuff? Like I don't know.
Uh, Treatment of family. I have no idea what that is. What does that even like? What's that? What does that mean?
We've tried to crack this code. We cannot figure it out. Obviously,
It's like on the
Cincinnati fan.
report cards.
Hmm.
It's on the report cards that that teams do, like
Mhm.
just talking about the facility and like different aspects of it, and they kind of give a grade on it. But I think last year there was like 1,000 something players who like gave grades. But yeah, I think he was just about to say Cincinnati got an F minus on treatment
Yeah.
of family. So
Really? I did not know
I,
that was
I
a
don't know
thing.
what we're doing, but
I did not know that was a thing. See, I'm learning just about that. I'm just learning about that like today.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
so while you're out there, are you still watching American football? Are you still watching the NFL and college ball, or
Yeah, I keep up with like everything going on right now. Like all the players getting ready for like the pro days and draft prep. It's like I said, Monday through Friday, I got nothing but time in my hands, so I try to just keep up with a lot of the key players and see where they're gonna get drafted at, and then UFL coming. They starting within the next couple weeks, so that'll be something to watch. So I'm tuned into that.
Right on.
Mhm.
I think didn't you have a question about
yeah? So first, who is your NFL team?
So when I was younger, like I actually started watching football. I was an Atlanta Falcons fan, Michael Vick,
really?
and Packers, Aaron Rodgers, and then after that, it's just like okay, I just follow the quarterback. So wherever Aaron Rodgers go, that's my team. Lamar Jackson and Russell Wilson. So those like my three quarterbacks right now. That's what I've been keeping up with since I've been keeping up with football. Just those three really.
Okay, that's kind of perfect because this leads into my next question: is who is your top 5 NFL quarterbacks right now?
Right now, okay, you want me to tell the truth or you want me to be biased? Because I'm biased, I'm gonna have to throw Aaron Rodgers in there.
I want your honest list, your list, your opinion.
Okay, my opinion. And this is not just based off like stats and like in order. This is just top 5 in the league. Aaron Rodgers, Lamar Jackson, I like Joe Burrow, Matthew Stafford, Josh Allen.
Yes. Okay. I was worried for a second you were going to say Josh.
Yeah, those 5 are just my opinion. Everybody has their own opinion. Throw rookie of the year and all those guys in there, but those are just my 5.
So do you just like their play style?
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I go by. Now, you want to go by like statistically and all that stuff, then it's different. But by their play style, I compare quarterbacks that's like I can see myself. We have something in common, or like something I can learn from these guys, and that's those are the guys I watch the most. So yeah.
So if you were to compare yourself to an NFL quarterback, what is your style? Because obviously you're a good rusher.
hmm
He can yoss the ball too.
And exactly, you have a really good arm, as we've seen from your Instagram videos, of course.
hmm Yeah, so for me, I would say, like most people, like first thing you think about when you watch films, he's like Lamar Jackson, just because the running aspect. But it's like you actually watch my film, like my practice film and like game film. It'd be a sprinkle of like you mix Aaron Rodgers, Lamar Jackson, and Russell Wilson together. It's like boom, you kind of got me because, you know, even though I can run the ball really well and stuff like that, it's like if you watch my film, I can extend plays. I can make people miss, stand in pocket, and then just I get the ball out quick. My decision making is pretty good. Like before the ball snaps, like I already know I'm going with the ball, so it's like you gotta have that, be able to get the ball out quick, know where you're going with the ball from a mental aspect, and then you gotta be a playmaker. You gotta be able to create plays, and outside the pocket, and that's where that Russell Wilson aspect come from. So yeah.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Alrighty, well, thank you for joining. It's obviously been a pleasure.
Actually,
Yeah,
wait,
no
I got
problem.
one more. I got one more.
Go ahead.
Your social media, how's that out there? Because obviously you're really big on Instagram. You have
Mhm.
really cool videos, to be honest. Like it is fun watching you train. How has that like affected your life out there?
That hasn't affected me in no way. Social media is just it's just something like I have my social media since like 2016 or whatever, and ever since I can remember, every time I go throw the ball, I just take somebody, hey, record this for me. And around like when I was at UConn, that's when I started posting stuff on my story, and I realized, oh shoot, a lot of people like watching this, so I just consistently kept doing that throughout the years. And then once I found out about TikTok, like my first year out here, 2022, found out about TikTok, made a couple videos on TikTok, and they went viral. So I was like, oh shoot, let me start posting on here. So then I just started posting stuff on TikTok like every day, and just all my throwing. And then people started liking it. So all the videos on TikTok is just like, oh, a year later, 2023, started being lazy. So I just like, you know what? Let me just grab all my videos from TikTok and just post them on Instagram. And I did that, and then people just started catching on to them. I was like, okay, y'all like watching me throw? And just keep making throwing videos. So I was like,
Sweet, man.
yeah.
Oh yeah, well, thank you for for coming on again. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Appreciate you guys reaching out to me.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Alrighty.
No
Thank you, man.
problem.